Ta-da. Can you believe I'm actually remembering?
I'm sorry? Oh,
I'm actually uh,
well, steroids, David.
yes.
I don't like to take them, but it took it half a day to knock it flat in its back. So
Yeah.
just a 5-day course.
Yeah. Well, for a while, I haven't continued them, but I was getting steroid shots in my spine,
Ah,
and they really helped.
yeah. Well, yes. And I mean, the additional favor it did to my knee, it improved
Yeah.
immediately. Yeah, it'll
Yeah.
get back to where it was probably, but
Yeah.
I've at least had 5 days of sensing what life will be like in a couple of months, probably.
Good. That's good. Well,
With me, it's always a question of any congestion that I have up here goes immediately down here. It sets in very low.
ooh,
I've had bronchitis numerous times, but a handful, which
yeah.
is enough.
Yes.
Fluorescein.
That's not good.
No.
Well, and reinforces that, particularly right now with what's going on, wear your mask.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, anytime I go into any place whatsoever.
Yeah, so do we. But
And I'm satisfied. I think I got used to the idea in China and Burma years back when I traveled, and everybody was wearing masks, especially in Beijing.
Yeah.
With the pollution.
Yep.
So it wasn't a big stretch for me to say, okay, this is the thing to do.
Well, it's interesting. When I was in China, both times, the pollution wasn't too bad in Beijing, and I didn't see a lot of people wearing masks. But I know it can get really terrible there.
Yeah.
And it's been that way for years and years and years.
One of the trips we did a modified Silk Road trip out to the west, and as we got out into the middle of China, you could see all the sand and dirt and the factory pollution moving east right toward Beijing, and there's nothing in the way. So
yeah. That's some country.
Yeah. Yes, it is. As with most places, the government issues are one thing, and the people were very nice.
Yeah.
More than very nice.
Totally different. Yeah, I obviously had the same experiences. But, after my first trip to China, I almost stopped teaching. I was so appalled about what the Chinese were doing in Tibet. I went to Tibet both trips. Yeah. So
I wasn't, my doctor said, well, you can go to Tibet, but if you get sick, you're not going to make it home. So that was after a heart.
Yeah.
But I've been out far west of China, the Uyghur territory. I knew it was coming because the guide talked openly about contempt for China, right down to time zones. Or the clock difference. He said, well, Beijing, they say that, but we do this. And
Yeah, it's a,
sad to think of
oh,
what's happening to all those people.
it's been really horrific. Yeah. Are you familiar with Elliot Addison's books? No.
Oh, yeah, the book.
It's written, I think it's 8 books,
Yeah,
a
okay.
series about Tibet. And it's, they're contemporary and they're accurate and they're horrifying. But they're fascinating at the same time.
Yeah.
They do. Hi, good morning,
Morning.
Bill.
So, is it time?
Yeah.
It's
Yeah, it is.
a little late. You're a little late, Jeff.
I am. I actually, I lost the link that your
Oh.
email. I somehow deleted it and I was going back trying to find it and I couldn't find it. Finally, I found it in my trash, but I had to sort through like 100 emails to try and find it. I don't know how I deleted it, but it's always right there. I always leave it for myself. So that took me a few minutes.
So I might just say to you, if you aren't aware of this, I use my personal link. I don't use a new one every time. So once you have the link, you have it for
Oh.
every class.
Oh, okay. I should just bookmark it then.
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't realize that. I thought it was different each time.
Actually, I haven't made a point of telling people that.
Right. Oh, well, that makes life a lot easier. I'm gonna bookmark this right now then.
Yeah, that's why I did it, because
I guess I
Okay.
could look every week and see that it was the same, but I never did. So,
it worked, so.
oh, yeah.
Good. Well, good. We're glad you're here.
Yes, I'm glad I'm here too. Thank you. Good to see you guys.
Yeah, we're good.
Okay. Whoops. There we go.
Even though you couldn't hear it, Jeff, the thing shows very happy today.
Yeah, it's so funny that I hear nothing
Yeah,
over the thing.
yeah.
So I'm glad it's happy. That's good.
Questions?
I would really like to see I guess through the last 2 postures we learned the rotation and the bending in and out also of the hands as we go through them.
Okay.
But in particular in shoulder stroke, I didn't quite get all of it. So
That's kind of a tricky one. It's short. Yep. Good.
okay, but that's it related to the form anyways.
Okay. So I did something which I don't often do. I went back and looked at the video from our last class. And what I saw that I want to start with today is that it appears that I have not been clear about how to make the pulsing movement in the standing work. And so I'm going to start with that today, because, and I'll explain why.
Okay.
Well, I do a whole variety of probably all wrong.
I see no similarity between them. Okay. So what I noticed right from the very beginning And both of you did pretty well about getting to this point. But your pulsing movement was in and stop, out and stop, in and stop, out and stop. That's not circular. That doesn't keep things going. That just interrupts it every single time you stop. So you have to find the circularity of that movement. That means not even worrying too much about the twisting, although that's obviously going on here. But you have to start with, the first thing is to find where the elbow connects to the scapula. We've talked about that. You have to find where that is. And once you find it, you have to keep that continuously through every single movement, not only in the standing work, but in Tai Chi. It never goes away. And that is not easy. I'm not suggesting that you should have that today. That takes a while to really get. But the thing to remember is that when you find that position, it can happen anywhere. It doesn't have to be just in one spot. It can be, you can hold that position, that connection to the scapula all over the place. It doesn't mean the elbow is frozen. And secondly, you want to literally make the movements circular. So in the case of Hung, one part of that circle is that it's coming in and going out. So there is and I'm making this bigger than it needs to be, okay? But it's circling in and it's circling out. And as it circles in, part of that is that, yes, the scapula go in. And when you circle out, the scapula go out. And that's part of that connection with the elbow. And the elbow itself is making that circle. So you could freeze the elbow and just circle your forearms and your hands, but that ain't it. So you've got to get the whole arm connected and then circling in and out. And so there is the circle of the elbow, there's a circle at the shoulder, there's actually ultimately a circle of the scapula, and certainly that's moving the hands. The hands are not leading the movement. The hands are at the end of the movement. It actually starts at the spine ultimately, but initially you have to begin with using the elbow, because that's where you can get the energy coming in and going out, and coming in and going out. And let me stop there for a moment. Question, Jeff or Bill?
Not on that.
Okay. Anything for you, Jeff?
No, but it does feel a lot better.
Oh, good. So the bend and stretch in this is circular. It's not a straight movement. It has no stops. At the same time, since you were asking about twisting also, Jeff,
Yeah.
there is twisting in and twisting out. And that's part of how you get the circular movement in the whole arm. Let me show you what you were doing was this. what I'm doing is this.
Okay,
Do you see the difference?
Yes.
I'm exaggerating it. but
yes,
So when you go in, the elbows come in, and when you go out, the elbows go out. So they circle. Yeah. Don't lift the shoulder. Just circle the elbow. Good. Jeff, turn and face the camera. Good. That's looking pretty good. You can let, remember that um, so remember that as well as the arms making that circular movement, the bend goes right out to the fingertips. So the fingers are bending in too and extending out. Don't let the hands freeze out
Right.
there. Everything's involved.
Okay.
So everything's twisting, everything's bending as you go through the movement. Okay,
Yeah, that does feel even better. Yeah.
good.
Wow.
yeah,
Nice.
ironically, it feels a lot easier to do it the right way.
Ironically. So the one transition that leads with the thumb edge, of course, is going to kun. And what happens is you complete that tongue movement, and then with a little rising round movement, you go into that transition so that you keep the transition round as well. And then this movement is just like the one you did up at Pung, except it's down below. And I'm just trying to make this large. So you're bending and twisting in, extending and twisting out. And you want to keep those circles right on the sideline. You want to try not to have them come into the center and go out, or the reverse of that. And think about your elbow connection to the scapula. So when you do that bending in, you have to be careful that you don't go back too much and collapse that connection. It probably will be a little different. Yeah, don't let the elbow go really back of the side of the body is really part of that. Relax, Jeff. I can't possibly beat you from this distance.
You can't what?
Possibly beat you at this distance.
Beat me.
Yang Cheng Fu used to say that to his students. Relax. I'm not going to beat you.
Yeah.
There you go. Good.
Huge difference
Good.
from what I've been doing and experiencing.
So somewhere you have questions. You indicate that. So going to con water. After you've done kun, it comes in and then goes out into position. And this one, your circle is going to be, again, right on the sideline of the body, right in front of the side channels. So you're coming in and out. In and out. Don't go to the center. Stay on the sidelines. So you have to be careful. What was happening to you was that when you came in, you did this. And it isn't, it's the circle of the elbows to the scapula is here. Boom. Boom, boom. So initially it's a somewhat awkward feeling movement, but eventually it'll get comfortable. So as the arms twist in and then out. Twist in and out. Twist in and out.
I'm going to be spending a lot of time looking at this video.
So, Jeff?
Yeah.
I don't think you heard me say to Bill, keep your hands on the sidelines, the side channels of the body. So that means if you look at me for a moment, even though I'm small, my hands are not going out and in,
right?
Or are they going in and out? They're going up and down.
Oh, okay. I didn't get that.
I noticed. So
Yeah, I didn't know there was any up and down with the hands. So that makes a difference.
good. And then from Khan to Li is actually an easy transition. So you've gone out, and then you're going to come in and up and out in a high position. And that's, again, right on the side channels of the body. So you're spending, in this particular practice, we focus mostly on moving energy through the side channels of the body, those channels that run in the torso from the qua to the shoulder's nest, and down along the outside of the bones of the legs and arms. And so this one, similar to the one you've just done, is going to bend and twist in and extend and twist out. And it's again doing a circle right along the side channel of the body. That's better.
Yeah, I was all over the place, so.
Yeah. Well, that's what I realized, that
Yeah,
I had
yeah.
not conveyed precision. Okay, so any question on that one? That one ought to be fairly easy. Okay,
No question, no question.
then we go to Sun. So we've done a Li, and then we're going to come in, and we're beginning actually to sink down a little bit and then expand out. And the palms are facing the side and the elbows are just slightly forward of the body. So we're not back here. We're not back here, we're here, because here you lose the connection of the elbow to the scapula. Here you have it. And this movement is really a little difficult at first, because what we really want is approximately, anyway, circles that are going like this. So they're going pretty much in a plane like this. So you're out to the side as you bend and twist in and extend and twist out.
Are your hands staying outside of your body at all times?
Yep,
Okay.
Bill, you're tending to go this way,
Yeah,
and it's this way. Here you're going to go in and out. Where you're going to here, not here. Here. You want that twist. Yep. Yeah, that's, so you're tending almost to go to here.
on a horizontal plane.
Yeah, we want to go here, vertical. Okay. So you have to find, really for this, really key is what happens with the shoulders and the scapula and the elbows. So it is movement in and and out, and it's really hard. You want to do this. There's a kind of a sense of letting go to get out there, but you want to keep this. Jeff, turn sideways for me. So that's not quite it. Let me doing that. Stop. So notice that basically my arms are keeping my hands in this plane. So they are not coming in and going forward and back, which is kind of what you were doing.
Right, okay,
You're trying to find how to release your body into this plane. And there is a tendency to want to go forward with this movement.
right.
Okay. So that's probably one to work on.
Yeah, this one feels the most awkward to me so far.
It probably felt the most awkward to me in the beginning as well.
Yeah,
I could and then going to Jun. So we have Sun, and then we go right on up and out to Jun. And Jun again is going to work in this circle that's out here. And it's not going forward or back. It's just going around in this plane. And so you have bending and twisting in, extending and twisting out. So you're going forward as you go out. So you want to try to keep it on the same plane. Yep. Yeah, and you just have to add the twisting into that. That's good. No.
twisting this way, you mean?
Well,
I'm exaggerating, but like that, is that what you mean?
well,
As I come in and out?
actually, no.
Then what are you referring to?
So
Twisting in?
basically the twisting,
Yeah,
it's happening all the way to the spine, but
right.
it's just these movements. It's that, just the
Twisting in.
it's the movement of the soft tissue around the longitudinal structure. So in what are we doing? We're doing Jun. In this movement, so we have first the bend and the extend. So we have bend and extend in the arms and back. And we also have bend in the legs.
Yeah.
And of course, there is the C curve in the back, which I'm really not addressing at the moment, but those go together. At the same time, you have twisting in and twisting out. So those two go together. As they do in Tai Chi. You're reversing your body movement. So this movement, you're bending, and this is extending. Good. Yeah. Yeah, that's Jeff. That's pretty good. That's coming.
This posture feels pretty good to me. I can feel the energy quite a bit, and I heat up very quickly with this one.
Good. And then we go to Gun Mountain. So here we go down, twisting and bending in and extending and twisting out. And we're going on a 45-degree angle out from the body towards the corners. And now this movement is going to go on that 45-degree angle. So you have bending and twisting in, extending and twisting out. So in and out. And this is another one where you really have to keep that connection of the elbows. Where are you connected to the elbows? How do you keep that connection through that whole movement?
Reversing your body again.
Uh-huh. Good. That's much better than what you were doing a minute ago. Yeah. Jeff, that's pretty good, except I would say the hands actually probably might angle a little lower. Yeah,
Okay,
more on that angle.
that feels better. Yeah,
Because you're really trying to connect to the earth.
right.
Remember, this is the energy of shoulder strike, which we just worked on in the form.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good.
Yeah, that point, remembering about that when you added in a little while ago about the fingers, I was never doing that. So that was really a good thing for me to now think about adding in too.
Yeah, that's important, because that's how you open and close the Laogong point and move the energy through the hands to the fingertips.
Yeah, I am definitely noticing a difference when I'm trying to remember to do it in all of these postures now, but it's you know.
Well,
Once
Yeah.
it becomes a normal part of doing this, it definitely has enhanced it quite a bit.
Yeah, so it'll, now that I'm perhaps more effectively teaching you this. So this is as much my need for remedial work as yours. From here, after we've done that last gun, we come in, and this is the only one where you cross and you're going to that place where the 4 energy points on the wrist connect. And it's important that you learn to feel when those 4 points come together. And they cause a zing in the Lao Gong point when you do. When you make that connection, it's there, it's in your palm. And then as you extend into the position, they are slowly rotating the palms down. And here you really, one of the things you have to be really careful about is, excuse me, that your shoulders stay relaxed and down. Don't let the shoulders lift up. And in this one, this one's really, in a way, kind of the most difficult, in a way, to my mind, because you're trying to do little circles that are on this plane. They're not going up and down. They're on this plane. So when you've arrived at this, they are bending and twisting in and extending and twisting out. And you have to be careful that you don't collapse the elbows, of course, coming in. It's very easy to do that. So you have to find out, how do you retain that elbow connection? How do I keep that elbow connection going? You could also do this in this plane. And this is easier. So I would say you could perhaps start that way. You just have to make sure that you don't lose that connection of the elbow to the scapula, so that you keep that pathway open. Twist. Yeah. That's good, Jeff. Let your elbows drop a little as you're going in. That is how you get that. Good. Okay. So questions in there?
Nope.
This is really helpful.
Good. Well, there's no sense doing this and not having it work. So, excuse me.
It's really good to have this whole in-depth thing we're doing right now archived, so we can go back to this particular lesson and
Yep.
go through this again with this, detailed tutorial.
Good.
That's
So when you finish that, then the hands curve down. And you're pulling up. You connect the Laogong points, connect the 4 points in the wrist, lower them, and separate to the Laogong again. And actually, you can pulse here. Keeping that Laogong connection, you can pull in and extend out. And this is just, this bending and stretching actually is going clear through to the scapula, but there is virtually no visible movement other than the hands. But you can feel that.
Wait, one more question, David. I know where the Laogong point is. I don't know the specific wrist point that you're talking about, though.
Okay. On the inside of your wrist, if you take your 3 middle fingers,
Yeah.
and place,
Well, lift your hand up a little bit.
sorry.
Yes. Yep, that's good. That's good.
Okay. So right above that point, right there, 3 fingers width, your 3 middle fingers widths above that wrist crease
Right.
is where that is. And there's an acupoint on each side of the wrist.
Huh.
So what happens is when you connect those 4, you will get a response in the Laogong point.
Hmm.
So this is preparing you for when you do get to God's plane in the clouds, where there are several postures where we do this, Jeff,
Okay.
where we come to that connection of the Laogong point and then the wrist. And that's what's happening here too, except it's in the position we use in movement 6, up at the top. Connect the Laogong, connect the 4 wrist points, bring the energy down and into the Dantian. Yeah.
Okay. And what is the wrist point called? Or do we just call it wrist?
I am blanking on the specific meridians at the moment. So I'll tell you next week.
Okay, so we just call it wrist point.
Just call them wrist.
Okay, that's fine.
I think
That's
I've
fine.
thought of them as the wrist points for
No,
so
that's-
long.
Yeah.
That's fine. I didn't know if you had said it and I forgot it. That's why I was
No, I didn't say it. I will.
asking. No problem.
Good. So, do you need a break here or are you doing all right? Okay.
Just a sip of water.
Okay, have a sip of water. So, you said, Jeff,
Yeah, in the last 2 postures that we did, you know, the twisting of the arm, along with I think I'd asked you last class about the bending in and out, but I need to add in the
okay.
twisting as
So
well.
the pull down, embrace, and
Right. And shoulder strike.
shoulder.
Yeah.
Nothing to it.
Yeah.
So, well, I think start at single whip. So as you shift, there is a bend. And then as you rotate back and step forward, both arms are starting to turn. So they're going with the body. And then when they've come to this point when you have touched that toe forward. So the right palm is facing forward. This has started a deflection in front. But instead of continuing into a left hand, you step back. And that step back you would like to be empty. And what is going to happen there is that the left hand turns and drops a little, the right rises and comes up, and it's as if you have gotten an elbow and a wrist, would be one way to think about it. So you step forward, you're here. As you step back, then you have gotten their arm, and then you rotate and shift, guiding them past. And notice that my left foot does not move here until you completed pull down. When you rotate on that left heel and the arms twist in and rise slightly. And then as you shift forward, they expand into embrace. And this is just a shift, so there is just a folding, there is not a twisting. At this stage, there is not a twisting here. Let me put it that way. So you're pushing outward with that shift. And then without rotating, you're continuing to shift into that left foot. And the arms fold in. The left comes up to roughly heart level. Excuse me. The right down to dantian level. And once you're sitting on that right foot, left foot, excuse me. The right foot, you rotate and draw the right foot in. And at that point, the arms do start to twist in, and you're twisting the thumb edge in at this point. So you shift it back, they've separated. As you rotate in, this is that protect the groin position that we're just indicating. So in, and then you rotate and step out, and now the arms start to rotate out. As you turn to the right and step to the corner, the thumb edge starts to rotate out, and then as you rotate and shift forward, it continues to rotate out.
And both feet remain planted.
Both feet remain planted. Okay.
Yeah, that's a good explanation. Thank you. It's just going to take a lot of practice to do it. That's
Yeah,
all.
there's a lot going on in there.
Yeah.
There's a lot going on everywhere in this form.
The left hand up at the end is not yet to the center of the body.
It is, they're both pretty much in this.
Okay.
They just don't do this.
Yeah, that's
They can come to the center, they don't cross the center. Even more rigidly in this form than in the other style.
I have one question on something that seems counterintuitive.
Uh-huh.
That's when you are shifting back to embrace. Why is it just a folding instead of also a rotation out?
I beg your pardon? Say that again.
So on the part, when we're going into, excuse me, going into embrace, we shift back, you said it's just a folding out.
Yeah.
So the arms just fold Why do they just fold instead of folding and rotating also?
Because that's how the form is.
Okay.
I don't,
It seems like.
part of it is that you're gonna need that rotation later.
Right,
So you're preserving the rotation for when you're gonna need it in the next posture.
okay,
Because if you use it when you do embrace, if you rotate there, you're not going to have it to get into shoulder.
okay.
So this is,
Is this actually G energy instead of on energy? Is that what's going on?
oh, this is definitely G.
Oh, I was thinking on. Maybe that's
Uh-uh.
why.
No,
Okay.
no,
All right, I got it.
no, this is definitely on. G, excuse me.
Okay, all right. That actually explains it. I was
Okay.
thinking
Oh,
wrong. I was thinking
okay.
pushing down.
You have a question there?
But from pull down, do the hands come in before they expand?
So when you step out there, they have extended, or they haven't extended, actually, excuse me. They've started to extend here.
Yeah.
Here, they actually have bent. Notice my fingers are bent, the elbows are bent, and as you go back, rotating and shifting back, they are expanding out,
Oh. Okay.
out,
And
Out.
then what?
out, and then release and come in.
Okay.
And on that, you're coming in effect like embrace the moon.
Okay.
And then you're just going to shift and push out. And that's indeed, as Jeff was asking, this is a G energy. This is a push. This is a press forward, not a push.
This is,
Yeah.
okay, so they. Yeah.
Okay. So A from here.
Yeah.
You shift, sitting on that left leg.
Yep.
And now you're going to rotate. Right, left. You got to pull the leg when you do that. No, not just forward. No, because the purpose of that leg movement, you've been here. The purpose of that leg movement is to get this foot into the center. Because this is actually one of the things this can be is a kick to the groin.
Okay.
So around the leg.
I'm sorry. So we're at almost at the shoulder.
This is here. You're almost at the shoulder. Yeah, you're at the level of roughly the shoulder's nest.
Okay.
And then here, the left goes up, the right goes down. They continue to start to turn. They come to this point here.
Okay.
And we interrupt that movement in order to rotate and step back and pull down. Okay. Just let me say again, you've got to, the first thing you have to do here is sit on that right leg, left leg, excuse me, so that the right is free. So the right can go back and forward. Yes, excellent. And then
I don't think I've ever done that.
Well, that happens every time you lift him. That's key.
Okay.
Yep. Did you have other questions there? I didn't mean to cut you off.
No,
You have questions, Jeff?
I do have one. So as we go to here, is there any arm movement as we pull down?
Sure. You're
What are the arms doing? I was kind of holding the arms and letting the body do it all.
No.
All right, so I'm missing something then.
So I'm just trying to get this on an angle so you can,
Yeah,
see this.
okay,
So when you step back, you've bent. All right. The fingers have bent, the elbows have bent. You've grabbed this guy's arm.
right,
As you rotate and shift, you're extending and twisting out. The twisting is pretty subtle.
Hmm.
There's not a big movement,
right,
but there is a twist in there. Okay, and this is going in this arc. Zoom. You're taking his energy. Think of, he comes in with a fist.
right.
He wants to hit you. You say, "Oh, you want to hit me? Take it over there." Okay.
So as we arc down, the arms are are bending out a little and twisting out.
They are extending and twisting out. And it's not, the twist is not huge.
Right. That's probably why I've missed it all this time. I haven't really.
It's more felt than seen, probably.
Yeah. All right. But when I put the intent of it in there, it does feel better.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then the release draws in and extend out.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
Any better? More or less? So I'd like you to start at the beginning and flow up to this point. And you can do it one at a time if you like, or you can do it twice. You can take your choice. Still not sure about this. That's because you're trying to rotate and shift together, and there's just a shift and then a rotate. So a lot of good things in what you're doing. You're getting there. Then embrace. You just shift, and then you rotate in, and then rotate out. So that's a tough one because if you don't release the quad, when you get to here, you have to let this come in and then out without losing your balance, and that's a tough rotation. And then rotate and shift to shoulder. And I think one of the things in there is that you have to not go to a full bow stance, just a fraction short, because you go on into it in the next posture. So it's part way. The other thing is how you're going into single whip. Really good touch there.
Finally.
Love that touch. Okay, so you come back and you're coming in, you're coming out, twisting and bending out, twist and bend in. From this point, you are going out. You were
Okay.
You were
Yeah,
doing something
I
else.
was going up.
Yeah,
Just,
it is going up, but it's the sense of going
Yeah.
hyper. Yeah. Good. Yeah. And you can either take a break or do it again, whatever you like. Okay. Good. Don't go up when you step.
In what spot?
Right there, the last step.
Don't go up.
So all the 98% of the steps
Right.
in the long forms and in this form are all on one level.
Okay.
You're using other movements of the body to power that, not up and down.
So I was rising here. Is that what you were saying? I was rising and I should just.
Well, that was fine. I'm talking about the stepping out. So after. So after after you've done embrace,
Yeah.
The first thing is continue to 100%.
Okay.
Then rotate in, rotate out to step empty. And then rotate and shift forward into the posture.
Okay. So you're saying when I stepped out empty, I was rising? Is that what I was
So yeah, what you did is 48 form.
Okay.
You got back here and you went
Oh, okay. I see what you mean.
Yeah. We're not doing that. You
Okay,
have to use the rotation of the body to move the leg.
right. Okay. All right.
Other questions in there?
No, probably will be as I do it some more. I'm not getting all the nuances of the bending and twisting yet, but I've got to
Oh.
work on it.
No,
So,
that, I wouldn't expect that you would have it all, Jeff, despite your great facility. Um, One thing for both of you, going into single width. So we've done that last following focus, and you turn and step, rotate and shift onto it, and notice that the arms are condensing in, and then as you rotate and shift onto the right, they are extending and twisting out. And as you turn back to the left and resetting the foot, and that may be, depending on where your foot is at that point, you may just turn it a little on the heel, or you may actually step slightly, whatever works for you. It doesn't have to be a long distance anyway. But as you do that, the arms condense in again, and then you rotate and shift into single whip, driving the hands out, and they only go out at about shoulder's nest height or shoulder height. They don't go up here. Well, that was really good. Yeah, but so try single whip once.
I noticed that you are rotating more at the beginning of that sequence than I have been. I've been stopping over here, so it goes past the edge of the body.
Yep.
Okay.
So you're here, and at A, when you step, don't turn the foot out.
Okay. Yeah.
At this point, the foot goes straight. You rotate and turn that foot. And yes, I am. I'm closing this and going beyond straight ahead. And then I'm going beyond straight ahead.
Yeah. Okay.
And then I'm resetting into single whip.
Straight first, and then
Yep.
step out goes a little bit more.
Into the angle. Yeah.
I realized in doing this again that my arms, as I was rotating back and forth, were going past midway.
Yeah, you want
I
to,
was-
they're just, you're right. They don't go past midway, but they do keep moving in and out.
Yeah,
And-
and I was moving in and out so much that I was going past midway as I
Yeah.
was, and I just
And
realized.
the other thing for you, Jeff, is that at, oh, I need a button to change the camera. I might wish, okay. Yeah. So in, out, and this is kind of embrace the moon, expand it out. Notice that the bending and twisting in comes quickly on the step.
Okay.
So that increases the speed of that, increases slightly. And then this movement starts immediately
Forward.
twisting and expanding out. It doesn't shift part way and then do that. As soon as you start to go.
Yeah, okay.
Nothing to it. Other questions?
Okay.
Did you have another question?
No, I just was doing what you just said to get it into my head.
Okay, good.
The quick one, and then yeah. No, I'm good right now.
So I'm going to stop there.
I think I picked up one or two things to work on.
We spent a lot of time on the standing work, so
that was
All right.
I think that will improve that practice.
Yes.
And I
Which
We'll-
class number is this, David?
think this is 5.
Okay.
I believe it is. I lose track sometimes.
We'll know when you put up the video.
Yeah, right. So I'm not going to add anything else to the form today.
Yeah.
I think with everything, you've probably got enough to work on.
Definitely. Yeah.
Good. So great. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.
Good class.
Thank
Yeah, this was good.
I feel you guys are making progress and asking good questions. That's important.
Mm.
Yeah. Good. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you, guys. Thank you, David. We'll see you next week.
Okay, Jeff. How's the boy?
He's wonderful. I just put up like a 7 or 8 second video on my Facebook page of him. I was taking him to school this morning, and when we went out to the garage, I had my shoes there. I was going to put them on. He put my shoes on himself instead, and he was trying to walk in my shoes. So I decided to take a quick video of him, but he's doing great.
I'll look for that.
Yeah, he's such a joy. I love him
Oh,
so
good.
much. Yeah.
Great.
Right. Thank you. We'll see you soon.
Okay. Thank you,
Take
Jeff.
care.
Take care.
See you, Jeff.
Bye, Bill.